she had 5 days approximately to set up this camp. She apparently walked around the village, requisitioned houses. She had no staff originally.
And her name, Pam?
She had 5 staff in the end. Dame Joanna Cruikshank walked around, marched around, I feel, because she was quite a formidable lady, and requisitioned rooms in all the private houses that had spare bedrooms, and also all the hotels. So, and then, without very much forward notice at all, over 3,000 women and children arrived on one day, the 29th of May. Now, we could not manage that today. I've been involved in so many St John ambulance exercises where we've had emergency planning for things, and really, I tell you, we would be very hard-pressed to deal with that today. Every single one of the internees was housed by nightfall.
And in Douglas and elsewhere, the landlords and ladies and people of the houses were booted out, whereas in Port Erin and Port St Mary, the landlords and landladies were allowed to stay in. And they got paid,
yes,
which was absolutely brilliant, a guinea per internee. Fantastic.
Yes, the commandant's only order to the landladies was, you must treat these people kindly. The Douglas camps were run by the War Department, but the Port Erin camp was run by the Home Office. It was a very different setup altogether. And 300 of the people arriving on the first day were pregnant. So, I mean, she had to cope with setting up a maternity hospital. And it's amazing because in her resignation letter, this lady, the commandant, says, we've had quite a quiet day, except for just late on tonight when we had an emergency baby arrive.
50 babies were born during that time, which was amazing. Quite a few of them stayed. Yeah. But, I mean, from the locals' point of view, they weren't very happy, some of them, because they were being... the internees were given good diets. They were roaming freedom with a permit. The locals were very much put out by it, and a lot of consternation, really. And there was quite a lot of, as I say, from the locals towards the internees, because they had it good.
And you describe it as well as being a unique form of government by women of women.
Yeah, the vast majority of the people, of the officials in the camp were women, led by the formidable Dame Joanna, who gets a very bad press, I might add. But there's, I think, Beth, I'm quite used to people getting a bad press. So it means very little to me. You couldn't do that job without being formidable, for want of a better word. Certainly organised. And as Jayne said, a lot of the residents as well, there was opposition from them. I mean, don't forget, they were enclosed in barbed wire. So every time they went out, they had to produce their pass. And if they didn't have it, and one of the main complaints about the whole camp is the residents complaining about the guards, because they knew these people full well. The likes of Betty Vernon in her land girl's outfit that would come home for an hour on Sunday was made to queue up to show her pass, to get through the gate, to walk perhaps 20 yards to her mother's house to have a cup of tea with her on Sunday. Whereas those guards knew her full well, and you'd think they'd say, go on, Betty. But no.
But they were very well looked after. I mean, the weekly food rations to be provided by the boarding house to the internees, 12 ounces of bread, 2 ounces of flour, 10 ounces of fish, an ounce of margarine, 3/4 of an ounce of tea, coffee, 1.5 ounces of sugar. You'd be lucky as a local to get anywhere near that.
And it must have been wonderful putting this together, because you did a lot of interviews with people who had memories of the camps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, Sandra actually interviewed Keith McCarr, but Keith will tell you the tale in the street, talk to Keith. We've just been talking to Terry Kringle downstairs. Terry's been telling us all about the times in the war. And I mean, in the end, everyone, as someone said when we had the get-together for the Wire and the Wool, one lady said to me, in the end, we all just rubbed along together. Because, of course, when they first arrived, these internees, German-speaking foreigners, the local residents thought they were all Nazi. Yes. I mean, what else could they think? But then, of course, they realised that this wasn't the case. They spoke German, but of course they weren't supporters of Hitler or the like. And it was, yes, and in the end, there was very many lasting friendships were made.
And many of them stayed on, actually, after the war.
Yes,
they did,
yes, yes.
And my family spoke German because they were brought up by a little German internee called Eva. And she was quite tough. She was about 4'10", but by gum, she looked after everybody. So my family speaks German. Ich spreche Deutsch sehr gut, alle zusammen. So, yeah. So,
do you know, it is an absolutely wonderful book. I haven't had a chance to read all of it yet, but flicking through some of the fantastic
in every household by Christmas.
Where can people get hold of it, Pam?
All the good bookshops, of course. And if you cannot find it anywhere, you can www.lilypublications.com. .co.uk. But everyone knows. It's all available in the island bookshops. Please support the local bookshops. Go along there. It's all so easy at night just to sit there and online and do Amazon. But please support your local bookshop. And I'm sure everyone who buys the book will find it a fascinating read. I mean, the artists, the museum, the musicians, the talent that was in these camps is just amazing.